Napoleon Bonaparte's position as the French emperor lasted from 1805 to 1815. He started as a French military leader and was requested to defend France from a coup d'etat in 1797. Born into a poor family on the Mediterranean island of Corsica, his appointment to a brigadier general was a large change for his past lifestyle. Napoleon also was a responsible person and had high endurance, partly because of his poor childhood. He was also confident in his ability to create friendships with people and influence others. The main factors that brought Napoleon to power were his position as general and his ability to conquer new countries for France. He was granted the opportunity to prove himself through his military talents and abilities. Although he failed to invade Egypt, he was successful in Italy and gained popularity through his attempts. The current government in the Directory became weak through the French Revolution, which made it easier for Napoleon to come to power. He also supported popular ideas during the Revolution, including equality, liberty, and fraternity. Napoleon also grew close to men of high influence such as Sieyès, Ducas, Barras, and Abbey. Along with having a confident, outgoing personality, he had a lot of ambition to be successful and planned to be involved in the military in some way or another. In Egypt, although he failed to invade it and though it may be negative, he was brought to the attention of other countries as a threat and was seen as powerful. In 1802, he made a truce with Great Britain called the Peace of Amiens, although his ambition stopped it from lasting. He sent troops to regain Haiti for France and scare the British, making them believe he was going to try to create a French empire in America. Napoleon reorganized Germany and intervened in the Dutch Republic, Italy, and Switzerland. With the Treaty of Campo Formio, Napoleon was supposed to redistribute territory along the Rhine River. Austria's influence was reduced and larger, but fewer German states emerged. They were dependent on Napoleon. Napoleon ignored Britain's ultimatum, leading them to declare war in 1803. Napoleon was officially crowned emperor in 1804. In 1805, Napoleon won against Austria, Russia, Prussia, and became the main German master. Tsar Alexander agreed to sign a treaty with Napoleon and gave France the land it gained and handed over half of Prussia. As emperor, Napoleon imposed the Napoleonic Code and ended hereditary social distinctions. There were no longer peasants and feudal privileges were gone. Established churches were no longer independent and were subordinate to the state. Napoleon's policies were intended for his glory in France rather than showing support and care for the rest of Europe. Religious toleration also was a part of the Napoleonic Code. The continental system, although it was meant to help Napoleon with his inability to beat Great Britain, was a part of his downfall, along with his inability to cooperate and compromise with other countries and began to lose battles consistently. It was difficult for France to enforce, and Britain never came down. The turning point of Napoleon's career was when he decided to invade Russia, although he had a treaty with Russia, but Napoleon saw this treaty as weak. Continuing on to Moscow, Napoleon was still losing troops and he was low on supplies. He returned to Paris. Prussia was the first of his allies to no longer be an ally and made a truce with the Tsar of Russia. Britain and Sweden joined in, followed by Austria, beginning the War of Coalition. He was forced to retreat from Leipzig. Napoleon rejected the peace offer from the other countries that said peace would be granted if he returned the countries he gained to their original boundaries. The Allies continued and they invaded Paris in 1814 and it fell to them. Napoleon was then exiled to Elba. He tried again to gain power, but this attempt failed him and he lost popularity.